Every superhero must have their own theme music. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his servant and messenger. Welcome to another edition of Jock Brothers Presents Let Us Make Man. I am your host, Brother Jackie Muhammad, and I will be facilitating a wonderful show for you today. We have we want to talk about the principles of Islam. We have some wonderful guests who are doing the work of Allah all day. So, for those of you who are new in Islam, are familiar with Islam, or just want to know about Islam, this is the show for you. So, before we get to our guests, I would like to introduce some wonderful, courageous brothers, special brothers, who are putting some work in, sacrificing, and making a difference in the world. So first, I would like to introduce my little big brother. He's an author, he's a world traveler, he's a mentor, he's an example of what a brother is. I'd like to introduce to some and present to others, Brother Ahmed Pia. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Praise be to Allah. I bear witness there is no God but Allah. Muhammad is his messenger. Hey, Jackie, don't forget to put in an intro. I'm an OG. I heard that word a little earlier. I like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Original God. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Thank you all for joining on to our show, Jock Brothers. Let us make man. We have an exciting show for you today. We're introducing lines of communication that's going to help strengthen our community.
That's
the
right.
Open mic, Fajr prayer line, and the Ummah reflects.
Come on, bro.
So stay tuned. Get your pen and pads out because this information, as we go into this month of Ramadan, will help you organize and prepare your day. 5 o'clock in the morning call after your prayer or during your prayer, all the way through the day. We have lines of communication that can help you in your reading, help you during your fasting, and help strengthen you all throughout the day. These guests that we have on the show are here to help explain and facilitate how these lines operate. Thank you, Brother Jack.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Brother Ahmed. All right. Next, I would like to bring up a hard-hitting brother. He's a Atlanta-born, Atlanta native. He's a man of many talents, many gifts, a father, a mentor. He give you more, a brother, a superhero in my book. Let's bring on Brother Kawi Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam, sir. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah. Muhammad is his messenger. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's our divine reminder in our midst. Once again, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Jock Brothers Presents Let Us Make Man. I'm excited about this show for everything Ahmed just said. In addition to that, it's a sister full of panels that's doing big for the Nation of Islam. And they're all trailblazers at that. So I really hope you enjoy the story of how I got started and where they at now with the Fajr prayer lines, the Ramadan prayer lines, the podcast, the whole nine, the open mics, everything. And again, I want to thank everybody that is tuned in to witness this show. Thank you for supporting the Jock Brothers the way you have been supporting us since day one. For those of you that have supported us financially, thank you, and thank you again. That's how we do it in the South. We give you a triple thank you. And if you would like to continue to support the Jock Brothers platform, the information is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. You go to cash. It's $ Jock Bros. Once again, Cash App $JAKQ BROS. Once again, it's still Savior's Day season, family. We're still asking that you donate to the Savior's Day gift. Whether you are a member of the Nation of Islam or not, each and every one of us has benefited from the life sacrifice of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And so what better way to show appreciation to a man that has given his life that we may live by donating. You can go to NOI.org, press the donate button, and support that great man that's in our midst. Last but not least, please share this show. Please share the show, and whoever tunes in, please hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell. Let's get this message out to as many people as possible because we're going to need each other. We lean on each other during Ramadan for many reasons, and this is an excellent way to start your day. That's what I got for you, Brother Jackie.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So let's get down to it, Jock Nation. Now, for whatever reason, our sister Nisa Islam. That's why I said Nisa, excuse me. Nisa Islam Muhammad has a small bio. But she is known throughout our nation. She is one of the most hardest workers in our nation of Islam. And she's being so modest by giving Brother Jackie these few words. So introducing our sister, she is the creator of what's called the Ramadan prayer line, now called the Ummah Reflects. She is also a writer for the Final Call, the boldest newspaper in the world, the Final Call newspaper, which is a task in and of itself. Uh, she didn't give me much to go on, so we're going to learn more about her during this show. So with no more from myself, and I got this introduction from her, so I want to present to some, introduce to some, and present to others. Sister Nisa Islam Muhammad.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I've been witness there's no God but Allah, and I've been witness Muhammad is his messenger. I am so honored to be on this show with these other sisters who I love and admire. And, you know, it's Ramadan.
Ramadan.
Yeah. And so...
What's the noise?
Is that okay? I was going to say, is that, hopefully that's not me. So, you know, we are just so excited to talk about how we have kind of changed and transitioned the Ramadan prayer line to let, you know, your listeners know we have a new name, we have a new platform, but everything else stays the same. I don't want people to get worried about what's going to be on it. Are we going to stay here the same people? So typically we have been connecting, and Sister Georgina and Sister Uriva know, 6 phone lines and really 7 phone lines with the host line together to accommodate the thousands of people who listen every morning. So the technology was not developed to accommodate thousands and thousands of people connected on these phone lines. And so calls drop, people can't hear. I'm getting text messages in the middle of the program. I can't hear, the call drop. What number should I call? So it just became very challenging. So Brother Abdul Shahid from Memphis suggested that we transition into a podcast. So that way we solve all those kind of problems and it makes it a lot easier for people to hear.
Okay. So we transitioned into a podcast. So we're going to get more into that. All right. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that introduction. All right. We'd like to go down the line. Let's speak to our sister. Want to introduce to some and present to us others. Our sister, Sister Uriva Muhammad. Sister Uriva Muhammad is the wife of our brother, student minister Robert Muhammad. May Allah be pleased with him, whom I knew. Sister Uriva launched the Unity Fajr prayer line in May 11, 2008. She was inspired by our sister Nisa Islam, and the Ramadan prayer line, at which it was known as the Tsunami prayer line in 2006. The Unity project, the Unity, excuse me, I'm tongue-tied. The Unity Fajr prayer line was set up to encourage a small study group in Grand Rapids, Michigan, to keep up prayer and study as young Muslims. But as we can see, that it expanded. Allah had other plans. The line was formed using the book Muslim Daily Prayers, A Learner's Guide. Muhammad as the basis of guide the believers in their study, as well as the discussion, also to establish the foundation of their belief and encourage growth. The purpose of the line is to start each day becoming better Muslims.
That's right.
Also to be stronger and wiser students and defenders of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. This is accomplished through daily study of the great bodies of work from some of our top students and companions, such as Brother Jabril Muhammad, Sister Mother Tanetta Muhammad through the final call paper, the student ministers, and the research team of the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. The Fajr prayer line opened with the Adhan led by student minister Robert Dion Muhammad. It is followed by a section of reading the Holy Quran with discussion of the points at the close. Many joined our brother and sister in helping to make the prayer line go to the next level. After several years, the more prayer lines development offer new opportunities. After the mysterious death of the co-founder, Brother Robert, in September of 2014, Sister Uriva, with the help of Allah and some very steadfast believers on the line, continued to keep the line going in the absence throughout the fight of justice in his name. Today, she has several hosts throughout the nation who assist the operation of the Unity Fajr prayer line. And we're going to get into that today. So let us, Jock Nation, receive our sister and your sister, Sister Uriva Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, sister.
Walaikum salam.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me on the line or on the show. I'm so used to being on the line, but this is a show, and I thank you for allowing me to be a part of this. It means so much to me, and I also want to start off in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. I bear witness there is no God. Muhammad is his servant and messenger. Again, as you said, read in the bio, Sister Nisa is the inspiration of what we do on our Fajr prayer line.
Right.
Just the reading of the Holy Quran, the study of it and discussion of it all helps to solidify what it is that we're actually doing, the connection that we're actually making with Allah, and then the understanding that has to come after you do this reading, because we're not just doing this as a ritual, we are doing this to enrich ourselves. So this is what the Fajr prayer line, inshallah, was designed to do. And again, we are expanding and growing. Now have a West Coast Fajr prayer line that is just started only a few weeks ago, maybe about a month ago. And we have a moderator who is new to the line. And I'll probably bring her on maybe a little bit later. We'll get into that. But that is basically what we're all about, reading, studying, and learning. Because once we stop learning, that's when we start to deteriorate and we start to move backwards. So we always want to be found growing closer to Allah. And this is our way of doing that and encouraging others to do so.
Absolutely. A most beautiful way. And we thank Allah for it. All right, last but not least, we're gonna go to the West Coast. Our sister, who I know sacrificed so much, because she's up at 2 a.m. starting her show when we're at 5 East Coast. So praise be to Allah for your sacrifice. All right, brothers and sisters, Jock Nation, I would like for you to help me to receive Sister Georgina. Sister Georgina was registered in Seattle Study Group in 1994. She just celebrated her 27th wedding anniversary. Praise be to Allah. Good job. To our brother Eric Muhammad. She has 5 children whom she homeschools. She's also now to be excited. She's a grandmother now. Praise be to Allah. Going into the future. She's been moderating the open mic line for 15 years. Every day, they are reading and discussing the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad under Minister Farrakhan's leadership. During Ramadan, they have a schedule from 9 to 11 Eastern. In addition to hosting the Ramadan prayer line at 5 a.m., we listen to the reading of the Holy Quran by the MGT and GCC. We'll be reading Brother Demetric's 2023 Ramadan Journal this week. The Holy Quran reading starts at 10. Our sister, who's a part of that, she loves to create supreme wisdom lessons for our children. She also has actual fact workbooks, supreme wisdom handwriting materials. Another way to support our nation is purchasing books, DVDs, etc. in the final call and from other authors. So we will go into our website, everything that she does, but now we want to introduce to some and present to others our sister, Sister Georgina Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, sister.
Walaikum salam, sir.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor for you all to extend the invitation to me and the open mic. And we are really excited to be here and share some of what we do, some of the reading and discussions that we have on the open mic.
Thank you, sister. Now, thank you all for accepting our invitation. It was your work that made us want to have you on the show. It was your work. I mean, the people are talking about you. You have helped several believers, including myself. I tune in to the Ramadan prayer line. I tune in to open mic and the Fajr prayer line when it's time to read. So definitely, you all, your work, your sacrifice, your labor is affecting those whom you never even met. And now I meet you for the first time on the show. Praise be to Allah. So we want to go back to you, Sister Nisa, if we could. So Ramadan prayer line is no longer Ramadan prayer line. It is the Ummah or Ummah reflect, not just Ummah reflect. Why you are muted, sister? Why you Ummah reflect?
So, we've were the Ramadan prayer line for over a decade. And when we realized that we needed to transition into a platform that could accommodate our worldwide audience, we really wanted to have a name that reflected a worldwide audience. And so it's Ramadan, the Ummah reflects. And Ummah is an Arabic word, it means community. And so the people who speak on our line represent various communities of Islam. It's from the minister who opens us up to Imam Siraj, who does day two, to Dr. Amina Al-Din, to Dr. Sophia Shabbat. I mean, we have a very diverse group of speakers. And so that's why we transitioned the name to Ramadan, the Ummah Reflects, because we want to let people know that we are a reflection of the entire world of Islam.
Yeah.
Because that's who our audience is. I was just looking at some of the numbers, and you'll hear me say this again, but since Ramadan last year, we've had 92,000 replays
Oh, praise.
of
Wow.
of our days. 92,000, almost 100,000 people from around the world have replayed our speakers. So of course the number one speaker is the minister, but they come from a variety of different countries. The US is the number one country, but the number two country is Bangladesh.
Bangladesh.
So there are Muslims in Bangladesh listening. And so we want them to feel like they're a part of they're part of this ummah, they're a part of this community. The UK, London, Muslims in London are listening, Canada, Japan, Korea. We have Muslims all around the world that are listening. And so initially when we started, it was just for me and my children and my family. That's how it got started. But it has grown now to encompass, really, really literally the world.
That's
And
right.
so we just wanted to have a name that reflected our understanding of that.
Mm. And not only did it just grow to affect the world, it also produced other lines of other avenues. And Sister Uriva, your Fajr prayer line comes out of at that time Ramadan prayer line. And how did you all get started? And why did you start?
So it was pretty much the same. Actually, was listening to Sister Nisa Islam's story. She shared it on the tsunami prayer line. You remember when it was called the tsunami? And she said that she started off with just her children. And so fast forward a couple, maybe like a couple years later, I was in a class. We didn't have mosque. We had a study group, and we would meet periodically, not every day. Not the normal times that a mosque would meet.
Yes,
And the sisters were trying to get together and they wanted to find out something that would inspire us to just to be closer together and to to grow. And I said, well, why don't we try a Fajr prayer line, like the tsunami prayer line that Sister Nisa does, because it really inspired me to get up and do my prayer. Your whole mindset is fixed on Allah the first thing in the morning, and so it really changes your mood and your
right.
trajectory of what you're going to do that day. So I said, well, why don't we try this Fajr prayer line? And the initial response at first was like, no, we don't want to do that. I don't know if they didn't want to get up at 5 a.m. or what the problem was, but she said, but if you want to start it, if you want to do that, then go right ahead. So at first I was like, well, no, I don't know how to do that. I came home and I told my husband about it, and he was like, oh, you can do that. That's easy. So he helped me set up with the phone conference line, and I sent out an email to all the sisters in our city, like Sister Nisa was explaining, but it was just for the sisters in our city. And when I sent that email out, we planned for it to start on the minister's birthday, May 11th. Well, come May 11th, we started the call. Only one person called in on the line. It was one person called in. I want to give her an honorable mention. It's Sister Zainab Muhammad from Grand Rapids. She was the only sister who called into the line. And I remember feeling so disappointed at that time that, more didn't call in. But the following day, because I was ready to quit, my husband was like, no, you started something, you have to keep going. And so Sister Zainab, bless her heart, she shared it on social media. And the very next day, it was just like, I don't know how many people was on the line after that, because they figured it was like Sister Nisa's line with the Ramadan prayer line. Right. So that is kind of how we started, and that we grew from there. I also wanted to make a mention of how we grew. We started off just reading the Holy Quran, doing the prayer, first and foremost, with the salats, and then reading the Holy Quran, just one section, and then we would discuss it and then hang up. And that was every day until Sister Zora from Detroit, she introduced reading the books of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, as well as his student ministers and council on the line. So that grew the line into another dimension. And if we have time, I would like to have her on to share a few words, but I don't know if this is the time to do that. Okay. Yes, sir. So, however, she was the one who introduced that very important aspect, because that is how the study started. Prayer, Holy Quran reading, study. We have to study our books that we have been given. In addition to that, we've been studying the Final Call newspaper, which the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan reads that every week. So why aren't we reading that and studying that for ourselves every week? And in addition to that, during the Ramadan season, we go ahead and join in with Sister Nisa Islam with the Ramadan prayer line. And then afterwards, we do the reading of the Holy Quran. So this is in a nutshell what the Fajr prayer line has grown into. And it's constantly growing. As I said, now we're expanding a little bit farther now to the West Coast.
Praise be to Allah. Now you see, Jock Nation, it starts off as a mustard seed.
Right, come on.
And you might get a little disturbed at the process of it, but look at God, look at Allah. He keeps growing. He keeps growing. Right. So praise be to Allah. Thank you for your story, Sister Nisa and Sister Uriba. Sister Georgina. All right. So now, were you a part of the Fajr prayer line?
I was not part of the Fajr prayer line.
Okay, so open mic, or how did open mic get its start?
Again, we all came out of Sister Nisa's tsunami prayer line.
Come on now.
The way that the open mic started was after the Tsunami prayer line, there were, or after, I guess, Fajr prayer line, there were two sisters that stayed on the line. A couple of brothers and two sisters. Well, the brothers were talking, so they weren't ready to hang up yet. After the Fajr prayer line, and the sisters were listening to the brothers' conversation. They were just,
being nosy. Go ahead. It's okay.
They weren't ready to leave, and so after that, they came back the next day, and they did it again. And they did it again, and then someone, I think it was Sister Viola, that had the idea that said, well, why don't we call this the open mic? So, and the open mic has went through some transformations. I used to come on the open mic when Sister Robin was the moderator, and it wasn't a structured format. We were talking, just the phrase open mic. We were talking about the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, about current events, just about a number of different things. And so if I may say, I just want to encourage everybody that has an idea, like Sister Nisa.
Come on now.
Because where would we all be
if
she hadn't acted on the idea of keeping her children connected to Islam and her family? I mean, it was really powerful when we got together to pray for the minister. We sent up a tsunami of prayers for the minister for that year. So I want to say that because I had no idea that I would be a moderator on the open mic. Sister Barbara Muhammad.
My mom. That's my sister mom.
Sister Barbara, well, no, not that one, not from Florida. Sister Barbara 3X Muhammad from New York. May Allah be pleased with her. She was the moderator on the open mic, and she was asking for volunteers to help with the Wednesday, Friday study. And she asked the question, and you could hear a pin drop. It was so quiet. And I said, well, I can help on Wednesday and Friday. And that is my introduction to stepping into a moderator position. But I've always listened. I was always just a participant, listening at the conversation, listening at what everyone has to say. And so coming out of, we have participants that come from the Fajr prayer line to the open mic, because every day we're reading, every day we're doing something to learn about the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. As Sister Yariva said, we read the Final Call newspaper, we read the Holy Quran. So every day we're trying to improve ourselves on the open mic. So thank you for allowing me to share that.
Wait, sister, what time did that start? What time did the brothers chatting?
Okay, so that's that part of the history. I wish Sister Barbara was here, because we actually talked about that. We got off course a little bit and talked about the history of the open mic today. And the two brothers that were on having the conversation, like, you mean what time, like what year?
No. I mean, what time does your open mic start? Because I know it starts after the prayer line. So what time should we all log on to your open mic?
So the open mic is from 9 to 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So right after, so if the Fajr prayer is from 5 to 6, then the open mic starts, right? From 6 until. And Sister Barbara, 3X Muhammad, always wanted to make sure we were never in conflict with anybody, but to be inclusive. So we've changed the times because we want people to go to Sister Yariva's prayer line. We want people to support Sister Nisa's line. So we want everybody to get in where they fit in at, really, because everybody is doing something to help Allah, to help us as Black people be resurrected.
Yes, ma'am.
May I add?
Okay, go on.
Please, because Sister Jordina brought a very important person, Sister Barbara Muhammad from New York. and she was one of the moderators on our line for a very long time. And she was very, very instrumental, as well as pulling together, like she said, all of the lines for Savior's Day in 2010.
Come on.
Where, you know, Sister Nisa was there, Sister Barbara wasn't able to make it because of the flight, but Sister Zora and Brother Oscar. I know you remember Brother Oscar, who
Yes.
passed on as well.
Mentor. That's my mentor.
She
Praise
was
God.
very instrumental in uniting the lines as well. So I just wanted to second her on that.
Yes.
I have
And
a
if,
question.
if I can add just a little bit, just to clarify what Sister Yariva said, is that a petition was submitted for the different lines to have a workshop. Okay, that's the Tsunami prayer line, the Fajr prayer line, Dr. Ridgely's line, open mic, and I can't think if there was another line. But all of these lines got together and made a petition that they could have a workshop to like let people know what they're doing. And they were very successful. Brother Oscar, as Sister Yariva said, was there. May Allah be pleased with him. So that year, the minister hand chose the workshops to be presented at Savior's Day.
Praise be to Allah.
And he only, that was 2010, as Sister Yariva said.
I have a picture of that.
We got evidence.
And he only chose those lines that represented what was in his mind, or those workshops that year that was represented what was in his mind. So I just wanted to share that.
And your open mic is recorded. Can someone listen to it all day?
Yes.
Okay.
So we record every day, sometimes twice a day.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Praise be to Allah. Okay.
So Sister Nisa, so at the beginning of each Ramadan, somehow you get the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to speak on that line. Can you tell us how that came about?
You are muted, my sister. You are muted.
She's still on mute.
Okay, thank you. So
Yes, ma'am.
initially, the Ramadan prayer line had just Nation of Islam speakers. We was a very select group. You know, we picked our speakers and they spoke. And so then I started noticing, I went to an Eid celebration at Masjid Muhammad, which is here in DC. And one of the sisters there said, "Thank you for the Ramadan prayer line." And I was like, I was shocked. And so,
Yeah.
and I said, "No, do you listen to it?" She said, "Yes, I listen." So I was like, wow, that's amazing. So then I think the next year I was speaking at an event in Detroit, and a brother there came to me and said, "Are you the Sister Nisa who does the Ramadan prayer line?" And I was speaking at a Muslim event, but it was not a nation event. So I said, "Yes." And he said, "Oh, I listened to it too." And I was just like shocked. I said, "Brother Akbar," I called him immediately. I said, "Brother Akbar, there are other Muslim communities that are listening to the Ramadan prayer line. What do you think about us opening it up to get other Muslim communities to be speakers as well? We could have other speakers. We could do the hadith of the day that Jalil does, because he was sending the hadith of the day out as an email to a whole bunch of people." So Brother Akbar loved the idea, took it to the minister, and the minister, of course, loved the idea too. And Brother Akbar asked him if he would open it up. And so that's kind of how it started. You know, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave the minister one task, one kind of last task, find a way to unite with the Muslim world.
Right.
And so the prayer line is an opportunity because he opens it up, he closes it, and as I said, our listening audience are Muslims from all around the world. And so that's kind of how we got him, and we love him doing it, and we're so very thankful that he's able to do it every Ramadan.
And he also shared with us that he listens
Yes.
daily.
He listens daily. He listens to all the speakers because we want it to be a learning experience for the listener, that they can learn something about Ramadan, something they didn't know. They can hear something powerful and inspirational. And so, yes, the minister listens every day.
Absolutely. Look here, Jock
He
Nation.
also suggests people. He also suggests speakers that he wants to hear. So that's why Imam Siraj's day too. Imam Siraj and the minister were in the ministry class together in mosque number 7. And so Imams, they're like best friends. And so that's why we have Imam Siraj on day 2. And everybody is just very excited to hear people.
Praise be to Allah. So now the platform has changed. Everything has changed. So can you kind of walk us through the change and what we have to do on our end in order to watch now the Ummah reflects.
So there's nothing to watch. Let me start right there. But thank you for
Okay.
this opportunity, because unless you listen to podcasts may be very new to you. Some people listen to podcasts regularly. They listen to sports podcasts, education podcasts. There's this Muslim thriller mystery podcast I listen to called Jabari Lincoln Files. And so, but unless you're familiar with podcasts, you really don't know what it is. So a podcast is on everybody's phone. Everybody should have an app that says podcast, and you can listen to a variety of different things. So ours is called Ramadan, the Ummah Reflects. Ramadan, the Ummah Reflects. Now, the podcast will come to you because our listeners are around the world, also in different time zones. So at by 6 a.m., the podcast will come to you. You don't have to do anything. You know, Sister Georgina is a beloved Ramadan warrior who got up at 2 a.m. to work with us every morning.
2
She doesn't
a.m.
have to do that
Wow.
this year. I mean, that's a Ramadan warrior. Sister Georgina can get some more beauty sleep and wake up, and that podcast will be in her box. It will be there for her. Now, for those Ramadan warriors who want to listen kind of live when it goes up at 5 a.m., they can download Podbean. It's an app. Go to your app store, download Podbean. Once you download Podbean, do a search for Ramadan, the Ummah Reflects. Ramadan, the Ummah Reflects. Find that, set up an account if you like, subscribe to that, and every morning it'll let you know when we go live. It will absolutely let you know when we go live, and you can listen to it. Or if not, you can wait, and that recording will come right to your box as a podcast. You can listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts, if you listen to podcasts. If you're not a podcaster and you just want to find one place, download the app Podbean, and you can listen to it there.
All right. So we're talking about an audio podcast. Praise be to Allah.
Yes,
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
audio podcast.
Yes, ma'am. Because someone asked me today, oh, so we're gonna be able to see the minister?
No,
it
no, no.
was thinking like I was thinking video podcast.
No audio. No, you do not want to see me 5 o'clock in the morning. No, no.
Be to
It
Allah.
is absolutely audio.
Okay, absolutely. Okay, yes, ma'am. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right.
when talking with Sister Uriva a couple of days ago, she was telling me there was a time where the Father prayer line almost was discontinued. She went through a hard time. Everybody knew about it when her husband passed, was taken from us, and she really struggled to continue with the line. Can you talk on that, Sister Uriva?
Yes. So, as you all know, I was actually absent from the line prior to that due to I was continuously having babies. You know, most people know I have 8 children, and it got difficult for me to get up in the morning and manage the line, and so I had other moderators take over for me, but I was actually off of the line for, I want to say, maybe could have been like a year before the transition of Robert Dion Muhammad. But of course, once that happened, during the janazah, Brother Robert's janazah, 5 a.m., beforehand, I let everyone know that I'll be returning back to the line. 5 a.m. On the morning of Brother Robert's janazah, we had a Fajr prayer for that day. But it was going on without me up until that point, but I just returned. and we did that Fajr prayer, and then of course we went ahead on with the processions of the janaza later on that day. But after that, I was not speaking on the line, but I would call in to my own Fajr prayer line.
Right.
That was how I was able to kind of nurse myself back to where I was, just listening to the book at that time, because like I said, we have books that we read out on that line. It was brother Dimitri's book, um, When You Get Into Trouble, Nurse from the Holy Quran. And I would just call in every day and listen to the readers, listen to the discussion, and basically nurse from the Holy Quran until I was strong enough to completely return. And I want to thank again the moderators on the Fajr prayer line for being steadfast during that time and patient with me during that time and helping me to recover. Again, Sister Zora, Sister Mother Barbara, Sister uh, uh, it's more now, Sister Jandale and whatnot. But we have Brother Mark now on the
Sister
line. But we have
Alberta, you
a
gotta
number of
say
moderators
Sister Alberta.
to keep the line going, because it is a task to do it every single day. So
Absolutely. I mean, this podcast, we could have named this the podcast of no excuses because you all have murdered so many excuses. So, Sister Georgina, you get up with the Ramadan, well, the Ummah Reflect every morning. It's 5 Eastern. What time is it where you are when you get up and host that part of the show?
Um, I get up maybe like at 1 to go
What,
to
8
bed.
a.m.?
1 a.m.
Yeah, you got to be ready at 5. You got to be ready at 5. They have a 30-minute music interlude. So I'm getting up, getting water. It's still Ramadan, so I may get my prayer in, but you have to be ready before 5. You can't just I can't just wake up at 2. You got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So
Yeah.
1 o'clock
Every day.
Yes, sir.
And then you continue to host the open mic line as well.
Yes, sir. Because if people may need a nap after Ramadan or what have you, or after prayer, then they can join the reading of the Holy Quran at the later time, which is 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And you also homeschool.
Yes, I'm transitioning out of that a little bit, but yes.
But during that time, but years just passed, you were homeschooling as well.
Yes.
So you getting up 1 a.m. hosting shows, and homeschooling. No excuses. This is the line of no excuse right here. This is the line of no excuse. So I want to point that out to the Jock Nation. First of all, if you have an idea, like our sister said earlier, and we seem to think that our ideas are not in line, or we are afraid to go forward with our ideas, you can see now these are 3 different ideas that has germinated into something powerful for the whole community.
That's right.
Sister Nisa started just wanting to do it for her family, and now you have 92,000 different listeners tuning in daily, want to know what was said. So her family has extended now. I mean, this is such a beautiful story, beautiful backdrop to the story. So Brother Ahmed, I don't know if you have anything you wanted to go in.
Oh no, I was looking at the Ummah Reflects .com. I wanted to I went and looked at it because Sister Nisa kind of went through it verbally, but I wanted to say that when I looked at it, it also gave directions and options to download the Podbeam and different aspects. So if anybody has issues and didn't really catch everything she said, you can also go on to the ummahReflect.com, and that'll assist you in getting connected, downloading the different Spotify or Podbean and different avenues where you can hear the podcast.
I'm so glad you said that because, sometimes change is difficult for our people. And,
Yes.
I have been we talked about the podcast last year. We told them a podcast is coming. We did like 2 days sampling the podcast at the end of Ramadan last year. But even this year, I've been telling people we've transitioning to a podcast, and people are still like, well, just tell me the phone number I can call in. There's no phone number.
Yeah.
Well, could you just send me the link? There's no link.
Right.
It's a podcast, and it just, it changes difficult for people. And we
Yeah.
know that it's going to be hard for people to make the transition, but once they do it, they will find it to be so much easier. Sister Georgina, I love her so much. 1 a.m. that she has been
One
getting up,
a.m.
and our staff in Memphis, they get up at 3:30, 3 o'clock to get everything started. So we're just trying to make it easier for the believers to enjoy the programming that we do, so that people will have to don't wait for the West Coast replay. The podcast will come to you. You can look at your
Mm,
phone and it'll be like next episode here, next episode here, and it will be right there for you. And it's also about moving into modern technology so
right.
that we are right down to the modern times, quick thinking, fast moving, so that people can experience it all around the world. Because if people have to try to call in or whatever, if you're
Mm.
in Tanzania, you can't call in. You
Mm,
can't make a call, but you could have an app on your phone and you can listen like everybody else.
Oh, I see what you. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You got it. You got it, brother Cowie.
Got it.
Yes, sir. Okay. Praise be to Allah. You have a
What,
question, brother
what I was
Cowie?
about to say earlier, I actually really started doing the prayer lines with Sister Connie's prayer. I don't know if you know Sister Connie, but
Hmm.
she
Well,
has a prayer line. I actually did my first Ramadan reading with her, and I thought it made reading the Quran very easy. You basically
Hmm.
follow along with her. And I mean it allowed me to make my day. But I actually fell off that prayer line. Just working in the morning, working early, couldn't get to it, and I got reintroduced to the prayer line with Sister Reeves' prayer line, and again, they all offer something very different. And I want to really go into what these different prayer lines actually offer, because the Sister Reeves' prayer line, like she says, they read the Final Call newspaper. Now, I know we're supposed to read it, but sometimes I don't get to it. But I know I'm gonna get that Final Call newspaper read every week on her prayer line, as well as some of the messenger books, as well as the Quran. And I know with Sister Nisa, you know, I mean, she made it possible for us to hear the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan a couple of extra times a year just from having the prayer line. I mean, so I really want to get into just the format, what you got going on with your prayer lines, the different prayer lines, and Sister Reva, you want to bring on some of your aid when we get to you. You could do that, and they could do their thing. But let's start off with Sister Nisa. I know you do a speaker, you do the reading of the Quran. How do your format go?
So we start with the host. Brother Muthacker out of Memphis is our host. Now, initially, the host was Brother Jamil, and then Brother Muthacker took over as host, and he introduces. So he kind of keeps the program going. So
right.
Akbar is our foundation. Brother Akbar has been with us from the very beginning. Brother Akbar knows most of our speakers. He knows people in all of these different communities. And so he introduces our speaker, but he also gives us some history. He gives us some
Right.
history about Ramadan. He gives history about the minister's travels. And so he's a connection to us and the world. And
Right.
so then he will introduce the guest speaker. He loves to introduce Imam Siraj. They have wonderful memories together.
Right.
Introduces, Dr. Sophia Shabazz because he knew her father, Brother Jeremiah Shabazz, when he was a minister in Philadelphia.
Mhm.
So, depending upon who the speaker is, either he will introduce a speaker or I will introduce a speaker. So then we have the speaker. The speaker goes on for 5 to 7 minutes. Sometimes they get the spirit and they go a little longer. So
Mhm.
then after the speaker, Brother Jalil does what we call the hadith of the day, which is a fan favorite. And he really has this knack for making Islam relatable and make it plain and simple and give people an understanding of the life of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, his companions and the Quran and life. And so then he does that. And then I kind of close it out with what Brother Muthakar calls the Nisa report. And I try to talk about things that are going on, what's happening, how to keep people connected. For the past 2 years, we have done the Ramadan relief struggling. It was during the pandemic. They just were really struggling. This year we're going to do something a little different. I'm not going to spoil the surprise, but we're going to do something different with the Ramadan relief fund. So just get ready. It's a wonderful opportunity to be creative and to just use what we have been taught to show people the beauty of Islam.
Praise be to Allah. And Sister Nisa, don't forget though, our show is an exclusive show. We air the exclusive. So if you want to give a little sneak peek into something.
Well, I would give the Jock Brothers a sneak preview. And so one of the things that, I was talking to Brother Akbar about, because like I said, we always do this Ramadan relief, is doing something to help the earthquake victims in Turkey and Syria. Mm-hmm. And so this year for our Ramadan relief, we're going to be raising money to send to Turkey and Syria to help the earthquake victims, because you hear about people raising money, but you don't hear a lot about Black Muslims raising money. You don't hear a lot about our people saying, you know what, we are connected. So we have speakers that are in Turkey. We have speakers from Turkey that are going to give an update on what's going on in Turkey. So you have the exclusive. We're really connecting ourselves with Islam and the world because we are part of an ummah. We're part of a community. And That's so right. We're looking to be able to say, you know what, very terrible, terrible thing happened in Turkey and Syria, and we want to be able to help them as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Beautiful.
Heard it first here.
Praise be to Allah. Now, when you talk about Brother Jalil, though, hadith of the day, man, that brother is the best storyteller ever. He's really sharp, Brother Ahmed. And he has a story for every topic or title that the main speaker gives. He's able to pull from it a story of the Prophet, man. I'm like, man, this guy is incredible. I would really love to talk to him one day.
Oh, we'll definitely try to make that happen.
Yeah, let's definitely make that happen.
It really is a knack, and it really is how we make Islam real in the lives of our listeners. Right. Because a lot of times people hear about hadith this, hadith that, but they can't make a connection. And he really makes it plain and simple and exciting for the listeners. And so, we're always just, it's just a great thing for him to be able to do that.
Absolutely. All right, Brother Kawhi, go ahead. You was on the roll, brother.
Okay. Yes, sir. Let's go to Sister Georgina. How's your open mic set up? And it's 2.5 hours. So I don't know what y'all. Y'all opening up dictionaries. What are you doing?
Definitely a dictionary. You got to have a dictionary when we're reading the books. You might have a dictionary, a thesaurus, another book. We're cross-referencing things. So what we do is open up in prayer first and foremost. And we're praying for the moderators on other lines. We're praying for the success of other lines. We're praying for people that are sick and shut in that have been asked to be put on the prayer. Sister Barbara is the one who does the prayer. She is our prayer warrior. She opens up in prayer and she includes everybody that have asked to be included. Once you're part of the open mic family, you're part of the open mic family, period. You can't get out of it. We started to love you. We're not going to love you because we don't see you every day. So once you're part of the open mic family and you're on the prayer list, if you've asked to be prayed for specifically, then Sister Barbara will call the prayer roll for those that have asked for prayer. After the prayer, we're getting back into listening to a post from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan daily so we can hear what he has to say. And then we go into our reading of our first book. As I said, for Ramadan, we'll be reading Brother Dimitrich's Ramadan Journal for 2023. And that will go from 9:15 till the top of the hour at 10 o'clock. And then for Ramadan, we'll be reading the Holy Quran from 10 to 11.
Mm.
So, but outside of Ramadan, the second hour on Mondays, we've been listening to Dr. Ava, her past lectures, etc. on Mondays. On Tuesdays, we're reading the Bible. We're in the book of Jeremiah. On Wednesdays, we're reading and discussing the Holy Quran, including the footnotes.
Come on.
And we're in Surah 7, Elevated Places. And on Thursdays, the second hour, we're reading Our Savior Has Arrived.
Everybody get it. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And then on Fridays, the whole duration of open mic, we're reading and discussing the Final Call newspaper.
Wow.
So
Wait. You have to print this lineup somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, we need a universal website right now that has all the information on, for real.
Is that on your getyourknowledge.com?
it is on getyourknowledgeon.com. We have an open mic page that has the schedule. And also, inshallah, when we read books from different NOI authors, we ask them if they could come on so that the believers can ask them questions. So we've had Dr. Ava on, we've had Brother Saad Alim on, Brother Nuri, Brother Dimitri, Ilya Rashad, Brother Rasul. The list just goes on and on.
You haven't had the Jock Brothers on.
Dr. Achilles, not yet. Not yet.
We ain't wrote a book. We have wrote a book, brother.
We have a book?
No,
Yes.
ma'am.
Okay. Because that's
Yeah.
I didn't want to or ever want to say, well, just come to this line because such and such is on. I wanted to be, we read the material and we have questions about, what it is or what sparked my interest if we're reading, because while we're reading, we're definitely looking up words we don't understand. I mean, we might be writing a whole dictionary off of Brother Dimitri's books from words that we, that he puts in some of his writing. So that's just how we study on the open mic.
Well, let me put your information back up there before we go to Sister Ureva. Let me see. So if you want to join Sister Georgina on open mic, this is her number right here, 720-716-7300. And the code or the PIN number is 977-359.
I know that code by heart. That's been the code forever. Praise be to Allah. Before we go to Sister Ureva, Brother Kyle, we want to go ahead and go to our commercial, and then we'll come back and go to our sister.
Okay, yes, sir. So once again, family, thank you for tuning in to Jock Brothers Presents Let Us Make Man. If you have already been listening to these sisters, you have to agree they are absolutely phenomenal. And this is absolutely something that we must share with our family and friends, well-wishers, empathizers. What's brother name? Brother Rasul. He have a whole lot of little categories that he say. Well-wishers, empathizers. So whoever we should get this information to them so they can get some of this spirit that they give out on these prayer lines each and every morning. Also, Jock Brothers, we are all business owners, and we use this podcast to not only promote ourselves but other people's business. Myself, I'm a realtor. I'm your local realtor. If I deal with buyers and sellers. I deal with commercial real estate as well, land, farms. That's the hot thing right now. So if you want an easy experience when it comes to finding your next property, making your next purchase, give me a call, 404-671-5681. And of course, Ahmed B.I. Now, he has a book, Sister Georgina, that we can talk on your line with. He has a book. It's called Palau and the Bullies. Support our brother. This is his first book. He got more books coming. When your next book coming out, man?
End of the summer, end of July.
Can you give us a little sneak on what the title's going to be?
A sneak peek of the title?
Right.
Irene Helps Friends.
Irene Helps Friends. I got you, brother. So if you want to support our brother, his information is right there. You go to Amazon. and purchase his book. You can also go to the website www.bipublishing.com. Support our brother, man. This man trying to write books for the children. And last but not least, our brother Jackie Muhammad. He has his own company called Supreme Waste Removal. Speak on it, brother Jackie.
Yes, sir. I have a roll off dumpster rental company. If you need any dumpster rental, 20-yard, 30-yard, or 40-yard in the Atlanta metro area, we will service your needs. You can call this number at 404-957-7639. That's 404-957-7639. Thank you.
Support the Jock Brothers and all the devils. That's what I have for you, soldier. And of course, share this show, share this current podcast, subscribe to it, and please get your people to hit the bell. Thank you, there, brother Jackie.
Yes, sir. Just like this line said, these sisters are absolutely divine. May Allah forever bless them and their families for their striving. Praise be to Allah. We definitely concur with that. I mean, you sisters are eliminating all excuses, all excuses, and that is a blessing. It has become a blessing for families, for believers like myself who drive trucks in the morning, and so I can listen to you all day, and I can just go along with you while I'm driving. So it's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful, very beautiful. So, Brother Kyle, go ahead.
Let me add this. You know, our great beloved brother Lewis said he met his wife off the prayer line. Ain't that something?
Okay.
And he's encouraging the single brothers to
come
on the prayer line.
Come on. Come on now.
Praise I happen to be a single brother. I'm on a prayer line. I don't know, Brother Lewis, you lightning strike. Well, I ain't gonna say. All right.
Gotta get that prayer in. Yeah. Just get that prayer. Okay, but go ahead and continue, Brother Kyle, with the format. You want
so Sister Georgina, let's talk about your format, what you offer on your prayer line, and if you want to bring your people up to discuss some of the.
You said Georgina.
You Georgina, you mean?
Oh, I'm sorry, Sister Uribe. Okay. My apologies.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay, so again, we offer first thing in the morning, your morning prayer, and a lot of believers learned how to do the actual salats on the Fajr prayer line. We started off with the Muslim daily prayers by the book, the white and red book from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and doing those prayers and doing the salats, and then we transitioned into the Muslim daily prayers, a learner's guide by Imam Sultan Rahman, who has been on the show, has been on the line and helping us to make sure that we are doing it correctly. So we do our prayers with the salats, after which we do a reading of the Holy Quran, one section. We even have some youth who do it on the weekends. So it's such a pleasure to hear our babies on the line to read the Holy Quran. Following the Holy Quran reading, we then have a reading of the book of study. So again, we have a book that we have presented on the line. This time we just finished up Sa'ad Alim's book, Nahum, a sign of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And we look forward to having Brother Sa'ad back on our line as well to have a book and review. And that is usually done on later on in the week. The first days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, is the Final Call newspaper, as we discussed. We always have to read the article of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's article, Mother Tynetta's article, and Brother Jabril's article. Those 4 articles will keep you up to date on what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is doing and where he's going, and how the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is navigating us. So we strive to do those at least, and then we may add additional readings to that. But again, we do the book reading, after which we have a announcements where we also have people who need prayer. We name those persons, and then we have a closing prayer after that. Now, I do, for those who are on my line who are co-moderators with me, Sister Zora is responsible for the book reading, and I would like to present Sister Zora on to have her discuss that part that she has presented to our line.
You on mute, Sister Zora?
Okay, thank you so much. It's an honor to be with you, Sister Nisa. I'm so glad you started the giving, because when you go to the other communities, they're always collecting at the end of Ramadan. And so when you did it, I was so grateful. But let me say, with the Fajr prayer line, we also read the COVID articles. We read Dr. Ridgely's article, and or Sister Charlene or whoever has done a COVID article for that week, and the other article that Brother Mark reads. So and then if there are other articles, we'll hold back to make sure that we read everything we can out of that final call. And the books came about because we had just ended reading the Holy Quran in its entirety. And so my thought was, I don't know about you all, but I have all these books and I never have time to read them. Can we read them like we read the Holy Quran? And Sister Uriva agreed. That's right. And because of that, we've read all of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's books several times. We've read all of the ministers' books several times. We've read the research team's books, and every book that the minister has suggested we read, you know how you go by it and you say, I'm going to read it, and you don't have time. Well, we've read them on the Fajr prayer line. And so when new people come, oftentimes we'll start again, but so many of our brothers are coming out with wonderful books, like Dr. Wesley and Brother Dietrich and Brother Saad. So we're reading. But the other thing that I think it was important to say is that when I joined the line, I thought it was because they wanted to teach the believers how to pray. And Brother Robert, he did the prayer in Arabic so beautifully. And then when he wasn't on, Sister Barbara 3X Muhammad, she would do the prayer in Arabic. And so I knew the prayer in Arabic, so I started doing the prayer too. And may Allah be pleased with Brother Robert and Sister Barbara. So there were others who wanted to learn the prayer in Arabic. I mean, the call to pray, not just the prayer. Whenever there's more than two, you have to do the call. So the believers have learned the call to prayer in Arabic and the salats in Arabic. And we do that on the Fajr prayer line every day. So that's how we evolved. After the books, somebody said, well, the number one minister of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is the final call. How many of us are reading that like we should? So then we added the final call. So it has been a joy to be on the line.
Appreciate that.
Praise be to Allah.
Praise be to Allah.
But before you go to the next presenter, Brother Kawi, Sister Uriva, you explained that you go over the steps of the prayer. So it's not visual. Just want to make sure it's still audio. Everything is audio.
Yes, sir.
But the believers can follow along with the Muslim Daily Prayer Book by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yes, sir. Or the Muslim Daily Prayers by Imam Sultan Rahman Muhammad.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And then you're saying, like, I guess you're allowing them to do the steps, and
yes,
is it someone?
Because
okay, go ahead.
I'll say this, because when you're doing the prayer, it's not always out loud. We say it out loud just so people can follow the steps. So we're saying the Adhan out loud. We're saying the Akama out loud. We're saying the actual prayers out loud. And even the sitting position, we're saying that out loud, whereas usually you'll say that silently. So we're saying everything out loud so people can follow along with the steps, and this way they can pick it up and know when to make the next moves.
Pray. That's very important. That's why I wanted to highlight that. For those new believers or new, if you're coming on the line and you do not know how to make salat, this is a wonderful way that you can follow along and then learn the steps in making salat. So yeah, thank you for that, Sister Marie.
Thank you, Sister Zora.
Yes.
Yeah. In addition to that, we have Sister Sadria. Well, let me go to Brother Mark first. Brother Mark is very instrumental on the line because he is responsible for now helping to organize the Fajr prayer line better. As far as getting the information out, making sure everybody gets the emails and knowing what we're doing and when we're having guests, and organizing when we're having dinners or when somebody's doing something on the line. Brother Mark has just been a valuable asset on our Fajr prayer line. I just want to give him an opportunity to share his role.
Oh, inshallah, it's an honor to be on. I thank Sister Uriba for the Fajr prayer line because it was Mother Barbara Muhammad of Jacksonville that kept chiding me to join the Fajr prayer line. So she would be in the morning time to make sure that I'm on the Fajr line. So join, I said, wow, this is great. Because not only do I get to pray my prayer of the day, but then this is a great teaching.
Brother Mark, you ain't coming in too clear, brother.
Uh-oh. Hear me?
You're not coming in too clear, so.
I'm not coming out. Okay.
Okay, go right now. Go ahead.
I don't know what I need.
No, you're fine. Go right now.
Okay. How's this?
You're fine.
No, I was going to say that the prayer line not just allows us to read the books, but what I really value is the discussion, because we have about 25 to 30 people on the line, and you get a perspective of different people that you didn't have by yourself. So I just love the line, and I started to just do whatever I can to help the line by, we have a time for announcements at the end of the call. So when I would see anything that needed to be announced that the believers need to know, I strive hard to make sure that I put that out there to keep us in line. And I became kind of like the go-to person to send out the emails, just alerting people of certain things that need to go on. And then the line has been used to help believers across the nation. Number one, Detroit, Muhammad Mosque number one was doing a fundraiser to rebuild, refurbish their kitchen. And so the line was used to raise funds, and it was a tremendous response when we put it on the prayer line, believers responding, contributing. So it's just been a wonderful experience, and it's been a pleasure to assist Sister Uriva Muhammad.
Thank you, Soldier. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you, Mark. Yes, sir. Sister Uriva?
Thank you.
Yes, sir. And then very quickly, I talked about the expansion, which we now have the Fajr prayer line West Coast, and we have a young moderator who I just wanted to give an honorable mention to, as well, as she is learning how to moderate and help out in that area, Sister Sadria.
I don't think she's on.
Okay.
Her camera is not turned on.
Can you see me?
If you're there, no, ma'am, we can't see you.
Oh wow, I'm not sure why, but I can see you
hear
guys.
We can hear you well.
Yeah.
Awesome. In the most holy name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. I'd like to greet you all with the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yes, I am super excited to be here. Thank you, Sister Uriva and the Jock Brothers for having me. Yes, like Sister Uriva said, we have launched the expansion of the West Coast line, and it stemmed from our 5 a.m. East Coast line. It fell into the heart space of our brother Roland, who lives out on the West Coast. And he would get up at 2 a.m. to be on with us at 5 a.m. in the morning. So that was his heartbeat. It's kind of interesting how I started with the Fajr prayer line. Actually, this is my 1 year anniversary with my family. It's interesting because I started listening to Sister Nisa Islam actually during Ramadan. Yes, ma'am. And so one peculiar day, once the line was ending, I heard a sister started praying. And I was just like, what is this? So I just listened on, and it happened to be the Fajr prayer line. So that's where how I came upon the line. And so I'm super excited about that. And like our sister said, we launched at about mid-November, the West Coast line, and I'm a moderator there, and I'm just in love with the Fajr prayer line. And that's pretty much it.
Praise be to Allah. No, that's good. That's good. Praise be to Allah, because it shows how Allah is working. As Sister Lisa put, whoever intercedes in a good cause has a share of it, and Allah is ever keeper over all things. Praise be to Allah. So
Hey,
excellent job. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to ask, all the sisters, how could a little person like me, you guys are doing such big things. The bigger you get, the further the reach is. Someone like me in a small little town with some tech skills, how can I reach you all? How can I assist? I mean, where do I go to
Right.
plug in and become part of this family, this growing family?
So if anybody wanted to help, if anyone wanted to help who's out there and want to be a part of what are you all looking for help? Do you all want more help? What should they do?
So
Always.
we definitely are always looking for help. We are definitely always looking for help. So just people can email us or email me. I'm trying to see what's the best email to do. Do info@ramadanprayerline.com. I mean, that's the old email, but email us and let us know what you're interested in doing. What your skills are. We have a brother Samuel. I think brother Samuel is somewhere in like Alabama or something. He said, you know what? I want to help do some social media. You got it. So we're always looking for people to help us, especially people with tech skills, because we're moving into this new technology. And we're looking for the next generation of people to carry this work on. The Ramadan prayer line now, the Ramadan Luma Reflects has been doing this for 17 years. We're it'll be 20 years in 2026. And so I've got all my children have been involved there. I'm like, y'all got to get involved with this. So we're always looking for people to help and to get involved. We did a book last year of all of the speakers from 2021. So we're always trying to think of new and creative ideas. And please email and give us a minute, and we will respond, and we welcome all the help.
Praise
be to Allah.
Anyone else? You want to
Yes, I can say. Who's gonna help? We're help.
1 o'clock.
We're always. I just want to say, in the spirit of Sister Barbara 3X Muhammad, we always, and I know Sister Uriva has this sentiment as well. We always want to keep the lines going. That is the bottom line. It is not specific to anybody's personality. The goal is to keep the lines going regardless of whom or what. So if you'd like to help me on the open mic, you can go to my website, getyourknowledgeon.com, send me an email. We are striving to launch the open mic Facebook page. If you have some tech skills and would like to help, please reach out to me. I would love some more help. Thank you.
As I said, I am in awe and honor of them, because We do 30 days for Ramadan and we are wiped out by the time that is over. They do their lines all year round. And so
That's
they
right.
deserve so much applause and so much recognition, as she said, to keeping the lines going, because it is a struggle. And we just do it. Like I said, we just do Ramadan 30 days. And we, of course, start planning, like January for it. But it's an awesome task to be able to do this for 335 days of the year. It's major.
Praise be to Allah.
Yes, and I would add, or second, third, that notion that yes, we are always looking for help. Like I said, we did just expand to the West Coast now, so we do have some moderators, but we need more help. People to learn how to do the prayer, and especially as Sister Nisa was saying, on the tech side, because for the Fajr prayer line, at least, the organization could be a lot better, but that takes somebody to kind of take their time to look at, to see where we can improve. And so just giving your advice and giving your input on how we can improve and move up to the next level, that's always something that we look forward to and we encourage. So just call in on the line. That's the best way to get us right now. We don't have any Facebook page. Well, I did when Brother Robert was here, but it hasn't been maintained. So we just need help. So
they need someone to help with their Facebook page. Call in, young people. Any young people that's listening, call in. We need young people.
But see, young people don't use Facebook. You're going to get somebody middle-aged to help you.
That's
with
right. That's
young
right.
People,
well, Morpheus, we got Morpheus over there with that.
Yeah, like Facebook.
Well, we would like an Instagram page.
Exactly.
Real. I mean,
right.
Yeah. We're not married to Facebook. It can be any type of social media that can reach our people.
Forget those young people.
That's right. All right, brothers and sisters, we have come to that time, so we want to really thank our guests for coming on and sharing with us their sacrifice, their labor, and the beautiful how it's helping the believers. I must tell you, Sister Nisa, I came into ministry in 2006, and the Ramadan prayer line was perfect because it helped me with all of my development, definitely. So I'm telling you, the timing of it is perfect. Allah don't skip a beat. It's just whoever He chooses.
We are so thankful. Thankful for Allah's mercy and the ability to continue, and for people like you who listen and inspire us. And okay, we'll do it one more year. Okay, some people like, okay, we'll do it one more year.
Yeah, that's right. Keep going. One more year. We're gonna do it one more time. Okay, praise Allah. All right. So final words, Sister Nisa. Do you have any final words you'd like to tell our audience? And
I would just say I look forward to doing a programming that everybody can be pleased with come Thursday. That they will like, come on, let's get the moon right now. Y'all got to get that moon right. We want no moon wars. So, inshallah, Thursday will be an amazing kickoff for Ramadan. We're looking forward to starting it and working with all of the believers and helping everyone to have the best Ramadan they can have.
Praise be. Do you have all the different phone numbers? What we would get? Do we have that information with all the different lines?
With her line, with hers is just a podcast now.
Right. Please don't tell me you're asking for the phone number. Please.
I have a flyer.
Phone number.
Please. I'm sorry, Sister Nisa. He gets a little stuck. Sister Nisa. He's one of the ones you talked about earlier.
He's in good company because there are a lot of people that are a little stuck who asked me that today. What's the phone number? I said, there's no phone number. There's no phone number.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It's a podcast. Brother Mike, help him, please. Help your brother. Help your brothers.
Audio podcast. Put the information up, brother Ahmed. Yeah, right. The Ummah reflects. Yeah.
Go there and you can get all the information, and you will see there is no phone number.
Oh man, I'm gonna have a problem. I need to do it today because I don't want no problems on Thursday.
We're gonna do it right after we get off the show.
We get it over with. We make it happen. Praise Allah.
Yeah, show him how to download a podcast. Show him how to
Yeah.
download it.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
So I would add that for those who are still challenged with the podcast, as older folks, we still offer for them to call in on the Fajr prayer line to listen to the podcast. And then immediately following the podcast, we'll go right into our prayer and the reading of the Holy Quran throughout the holy month of Ramadan. So
Praise.
I do have a flyer for that. I think it's on you may have it in the queue somewhere. But if not, then you can check my Facebook page as well on Uriva Muhammad's Facebook page.
I think
we have a number.
We uploaded, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I know it's in the banners. Hold on a second. I pulled it up.
Yeah. I know I seen some numbers. See, I don't want y'all to say I was crazy, but I know I seen some numbers. Praise be to Allah. Okay.
This is her number if you are app challenged and you just want to just dial the number in the pen, you can hit them on Miss Louis Farrakhan on Wednesday on this number right here.
Not
And that's
Wednesday,
one of
Thursday. Thursday.
Oh, Thursday. I'm sorry.
Yes,
that's
sir.
one of the numbers.
Yes, that's one.
All right.
I don't want to know any numbers because people will be. I know no numbers. I know no numbers.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
What's that? Oh, yes.
The same thing. Yeah.
So that's the Holy Quran reading following the podcast. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. All right. Last but not least, Sister Georgina, 1 a.m.
So I too have a conference line where you can call in with that actual phone number. So we all might be a little technically challenged, but we definitely don't want to miss anything on Thursday. So you're able to call into the open mic and listen to the presentation from the Ummah Reflects podcast during the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
And then next year we all gonna be on one podcast. We're gonna get some tech people in here. We're gonna be on one podcast.
Yes,
the whole day.
People need help. They need help.
Yeah.
For them they just need help.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
we have to help our people.
Praise be to Allah. Okay, so all right, Brother Ahmed, last word.
Last word. Oh man, I'm just happy that you sisters took time out to join us to get this Fajr prayer line, because it's difficult rolling out of bed in the morning and getting prayer and everything, and then we have to get online, and it's just so much going on. So we thank you all for taking your time out to help organize this, and we have new believers coming in, accepting Islam every day, and just learning about Islam and learning about themselves. And these prayer lines are so effective, especially some of the sisters that had podcasts throughout the year, through the pandemic, and even Sister Nisa, that they were able to go back and listen to the previous recordings. I mean, it's just so much information that we all are trying to put out and help our people in their daily lives, learning who they are, getting a better understanding and connection with Almighty God, Allah. We thank you all for everything you're doing. May Allah continue to bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I'm sorry if I didn't ask you, Sister Uriva, for your final words. I apologize.
Oh, I thought I gave them, but no, just I don't really have any final words. I would just encourage you all to continue to make your prayers. If you're having that trouble, go ahead and call into the line, and we can encourage you, inshallah, to make those prayers, learn how to do the prayers, and of course get that good study in and your little study group for the day. So that's all. But yeah, thank you for having me on the show. That's what I want to say. Thank you all for allowing me this platform so that I can share what we do.
No, thank you all for coming. I mean, you helping us with the principles of Islam. So definitely thank you all. And Sister Georgina, did I miss it? Did I miss you? Did you want to say anything else, Sister Georgina?
Just thank you
Okay.
for extending the invitation and allowing me to share what we do, a little bit of what we do on the open mic. Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay. And Brother Kawi, you want to
Well,
find a
just
word?
like to, yes, sir. I'd like to thank each one of you for coming on our show and being a good sport and having good spirits and giving us this information. Look, Big Phil awaits the wide awake man, and y'all carved out an area uniquely for yourselves. And again, I really appreciate those lines. I really do. More than what you can ever know. I thank Allah for using you in that manner. And this may be something that's going to carry me on out. Just waking up in the morning and just listening to the Quran reading, the done being sung to me every morning. That's beautiful. So thank you, sisters, for what you do. I'm like,
Be to
I want to
Allah.
just say
Thank you.
one really quick thing because I was looking through the comments. So yes, you have the same music. That's why I just said, new platform, new name, everything else stays the same because people love that music. So that is not going anywhere. Brother Sadati from Paris, France, could you please email me info@ramadanprayerline.com? I met Brother Sadati in Paris and had an amazing time. If you ever get to go to Paris, hook up with Brother Sadati and the Muslims there in Paris. An amazing. So Brother
Wow.
Sadati, please email me. I don't see a way to respond in the messages, but please email me. I definitely want to speak to you.
praise be to Allah.
Praise be to Allah. We are in Paris, France, Paris. Praise be to Allah. So look, Jock Nation, we want to thank you for tuning in to another wonderful show, very informative, and it will help you with your Islam. So these sisters are doing a wonderful job. We know that Allah is blessing them and their families, and we thank Allah for them and their sacrifice. We thank Allah for you, Jock Nation. We ask you to go and support, go and download your podcast. This is the audio podcast. You will not be able to see our brothers and sisters at 5 a.m. in the morning. It is a audio podcast. Download your podcast. Wherever you get your podcast, please download that app. And for those who are a little timid about downloading the app, if you want to call in, we'll have our sisters' information up where you can call in to the line. So praise be to Allah. So thank you once again, Jock Nation. Very beautiful show. Let's go ahead and show those for a minute before
Oh, okay.
we want them to. Yeah. We want those to tune in because we definitely want to make this Ramadan a successful
And
Ramadan.
tomorrow night, get ready for Thursday morning. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Get yourself ready Wednesday night
Yes,
for
sir.
that Thursday morning call.
Yes, sir. All right, so that's all I have. Good job, Fruit. May Allah continue to bless us all. Assalamu alaikum.
Wait,
Alaikum
Ramadan
salam.
Mubarak.
Ramadan Kareem.
Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Mubarak.